Here we need to solve and graph a couple of absolute value inequalities. The easiest way to solve these is to just sort of puzzle them through, use a little bit of logic here. We can understand this equation, this inequality, by figuring out what numbers would qualify and what numbers wouldn't. We know that the absolute value of x has to be less than 5. So no number in here can be bigger than 5, whether it's positive or negative. The magnitude or the size of that number or the distance of that number from 0 has to be less than 5. So the number can't be more negative than negative 5. So it can go down toward negative 5, but it can't actually hit it. And it can't be more positive than positive 5. Again, it can go up to positive 5, but it can't actually hit it. So this really represents all the numbers between negative 5 and positive 5. Anything else doesn't work, but anything in between them, the absolute value is still going to be less than 5. Another way to say this is to say that this represents all numbers whose distance from 0 is less than 5. Now the other equation here, we have the absolute value of x is greater than or equal to 2.5. So x can be 2.5, and since it's an absolute value, it can be negative 2.5, but it can't be smaller, less distance towards 0 than either one of those. So it can be more distance from 0 on the positive side, or it can be more distance from 0 on the negative side. So for this one, we get x is greater than 2.5 or less than negative 2.5. Okay, for this inequality, again, we need to sort of analyze what we have here. We have the absolute value of x minus 3 is less than 7. Since it's the absolute value, it means we're going to be dealing with negative numbers and positive numbers. So in other words, the magnitude of what's in here, or the distance from 0 of what's inside the absolute value, has to be less than 7. So if we were to just really quickly sketch a line here, and we had 0 in the middle, and then some numbers, and 7 here, and some more numbers, and negative 7 here, x is going to be all these numbers in between, right? It can be up to negative 7 going negative and up to positive 7 going positive, but it can't be outside of those two ranges. So what we have is x minus 3 is greater than negative 7, because it has to be less negative than negative 7, or less than positive 7. So then we can split this apart into two equations. Let me do that in a different color here. So we'll have negative 7 is less than x minus 3, and we'll have x minus 3 is less than 7. So we solve this one by adding 3 to both sides. Add 3, and we get negative 4 is less than x. Oops, less than x, not 4. There we go. And adding 3 to both sides here, x is less than 10. This little pen again. There we go. So either x is greater than negative 4, so we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. So x can't be negative 4, but it can go right up against it. Or it can be greater than that, and it can go all the way up to 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 10, but it can't hit it, and it can be any number in between. So any number between negative 4 and 10 will work.